Alright, so if you're watching this video, you're probably interested in getting the Insta360 GO 3S. This is an upgrade to their existing GO 3 camera, and it's retailing for about $429, which puts it really close to the Pocket Osmo 3. And maybe you're like me and you have a Pocket Osmo 3. I love this little guy, I use it on a daily basis. That being said, the GO 3S has some really interesting new features that make it a competitor to this guy. So I figured I'd make this video so we can answer a couple questions. What's new in the GO 3S? Is it worth picking up over the Pocket Osmo 3? Or is this update really more of a cash grab? Because we all know recently Insta360 GO has caught a lot of flack for the way they handle influencer collaborations. And this S tier upgrade is coming almost under a year after the original GO 3 was announced, which is probably gonna piss a couple people off. And of course, if it's your first time here, my name is Fredo. I'm a hybrid athlete here in New York City. That means I run and box, I do yoga, and I lift weights. And I test equipment on this channel, put it through its paces, and I give you guys some perspective, so hopefully you can save some money and time and energy instead of buying equipment from random YouTubers who are shilling you garbage. I'm honest here. That being said, if you are interested in picking up any of the solutions I provide in this video, check the links in the descriptions below for the best deals. So yeah, let's get into it. The new Insta360 GO has a couple new features. The main headline one is going to be 4K 30. You can now record in a higher frame rate for better quality. That being said, the old generation of the GO 3 was 2.7K, which is probably enough for most people. You also get 200 frames per second at 1080p for those slow motion action shots. We're getting Apple Find My, which is awesome because if you lose the device, you might be able to track it via your Apple iPhone. We're getting new fields of view. You've got a Mega, an Ultra, a D-Warp, and Horizon Lock. The D-Warp gives you the widest field of view possible without giving the curved sides. Also to note, this camera films in pseudo open gate, so you can reframe in post, which is awesome. I wish the Pocket Osmo 3 could do that. I don't know why DJI won't give us open gate. They also put a newer processor in this thing, so you get better focusing, better dynamic range. They made the camera smarter. In addition to that, talking about the camera, the actual lens is physically bigger. That being said, the camera also has interval video, which means it'll stop and start recording for you throughout the day at preset increments. And then besides some upgrades to the app, you're getting gesture controls will allow you to take photos by doing like the peace sign, which is kind of corny, but again, useful for somebody who's using this for photos. Who's doing that? So most of those changes are internal changes. The hardware remains the same for the most part. The physical body and the camera unit are identical, except for, like I said, that lens that's a little bit bigger, which means you can't use the filters from the previous generation. So it is just a mid-tier upgrade, as the name suggests. Some nice features for this already great camera. That being said, the Insta360 GO 3S has a couple downsides, especially compared to the Pocket Osmo 3, which I have right here. The main thing is going to be the sensor size. I wish they would have put a 1-inch sensor in the GO 3S. It's still the same sensor size, which is smaller than the DJI one. Where that really makes a difference is the depth of field. As you can see right here, this is depth of field, all this blurry goodness in the background. The Pocket Osmo 3 can give you that. The Insta360 GO 3S and the old one, the GO 3, can't give you that depth of field, and also the minimum focusing distance. It's not great. So if you're using this for vlogging, taking content of yourself, 10 inches is what I saw, and the person still barely looked like they were in focus. So that's annoying. I don't know why they couldn't just resolve this some way somehow, but it makes it less attractive for people who want to take selfie content, especially when you have that super nice flip up screen. So let's answer that question. Who's the Insta360 GO 3S for? So this thing is really a glorified dad cam. If you want to chase around your kids in the park, ride bikes, capture memories seamlessly, you can clip it onto your hat or your shirt. The Insta GO 3S is really like a toy camera. I wouldn't consider it a tool, kind of like the Pocket Osmo 3, where people have been using this to capture insane rollers and other cinematic content with this guy. The GO 3S is more of a pseudo action camera. If you want to go for like a hike in a dusty environment, don't get me wrong, you can get some amazing shots, but look at the marketing material. Some people have done some really dumb things with this thing, like sticking in a dishwasher for clicks and views. Me personally, I don't think I would trade my Pocket Osmo 3 for Insta360 GO 3S unless it had a 1-inch sensor. Then I would be more inclined to get it, because then I can get more cinematic shots with depth of field. That's really the game. That's really the deal breaker for me. So an interesting piece of equipment, especially for that $500 price point, for $429. And that's for the 128 gigabyte version, which is not bad, especially when you consider the Pocket Osmo 3 is hardly in stock, hard to find, 520 bucks I think it is, and that's with no SD card. It's not a bad buy, but in this instance, you really do get what you pay for, and the Pocket Osmo 3 is just a better option. So yeah, I hope that answered all your questions. If you're in between these two cameras, I don't really think it's worth the upgrade if you already have an Insta360 GO 3. I'm not redoing that. Unless you're some cinematic god shooting 4K movies for Netflix on this thing, it's probably not worth the upgrade. 2.7K is more than enough for most people, especially if it's going on social. If you are one of those people who have shot something amazing with Insta360 GO 3, put it in the descriptions below, like share it with us. I want to see the work that you guys put together if you're actually doing something amazing with this, or the Pocket Osmo 3 for that matter. So yeah, I hope that answered all your questions. Like I said, if you're interested in picking up any of these products, check them out in the descriptions below. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I respond to 70% of the questions you guys leave. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.